There's a reason Penne Arrabbiata has stayed an Italian classic for generations. No long list of ingredients, just bold tomato flavor, a little heat, and this simple technique to bring it all together. I'm Dr. Aman, a physician who believes the best medicine is a really incredible meal, because great food should make you feel as good as it tastes. We're starting with 24 ounces or 3 pounds of cherry tomatoes, to which I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of olive oil. I'm going to give that a toss through. Good food should be accessible, and I am mindful of the cost of certain ingredients, but this amount of cherry tomatoes should get us a perfect dish. If you're trying to cut costs a little further, you could use a regular tomato and just cut them into smaller pieces. We are going to roast these. If you're using smaller pieces of a larger tomato, keep a close eye on it so it doesn't burn. With the tomatoes well coated, I'm going to put them onto this baking sheet. Next, I have 6 whole garlic cloves, and these are not peeled. We're going to add them to the same bowl along with 1 teaspoon of olive oil and give it a nice toss so it's really well coated. We're going to add these garlic cloves to the same baking sheet but separate from the tomatoes. I'm going to put this into a 400-degree oven for 30 minutes, but we want to pull the garlic cloves out after just 15 to 20 minutes. Our roasted tomatoes have come out of the oven and cooled down, so I've added them to this blender cup. Next, I'm going to add the 6 garlic cloves, which once they're roasted, the peels come off really easily. Then 1 tablespoon of ketchup. I use ketchup because it adds a great balance and it's more easily accessible. Apologies in advance to all of our Italian friends if the substitution is in any way offensive. Finally, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, because tomatoes have to be really well seasoned. I'm going to blend this, but just 1 or 2 pulses because we want to maintain some of the chunkier texture. A couple of shakes in between and about 2 or 3 pulses, and we've got it blended perfectly. And now for the fun part, we're gonna make this sauce. So I've set this pan onto medium heat, and I'm adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Into that, I'm adding half a teaspoon of dried chili flakes. You can go up to 1 teaspoon. I like to use Calabrian chili flakes from Italy because they add such a unique flavor, but adjust to your preference. We'll let the chilies infuse into the oil, and that might take a few minutes. You'll start to smell the fragrance and see some bubbles around the chilies. The chilies have just started to sizzle, and I can smell that beautiful aroma. So we're gonna carefully add our tomato mixture so that it doesn't pop too much. I like to put just a little water in the cup and rinse it out, and then get everything into the pot. Penne Arrabbiata is one of my dad's favorite Italian dishes, and for good reason. I created this recipe so that he and I could share it together. With the sauce well combined and just coming to a simmer, I'm gonna cover it and we'll cook it for 8 minutes. It's been 8 minutes and the sauce looks perfect. I've turned off the heat and I'm going to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of chopped basil. Once I've stirred that through, we're gonna set this aside and let the flavors come together while we prepare our pasta. Whenever pasta comes up, we often think about carbohydrates, and it's an important conversation that I have with my patients. Most importantly, not all carbohydrates are the same, and we need them as part of a healthy diet. It's preferable to limit refined carbohydrates like white bread, white rice, and sugary items because they spike your blood sugar more. Healthier options include whole grains, beans, and whole fruits and vegetables. I've set up everything to prepare our pasta. I'm using a gluten-free penne and I have 12 ounces. What I usually prefer to do is use less water. So in this case, I'm using only 5 cups because I want to concentrate those starches in the pasta water that we're going to reserve. Our water's boiling, so I'm going to add the pasta, and I don't salt my water. I'm going to let the pasta cook, but I tend to undercook it by about 2 to 4 minutes and then let it finish in the sauce so that it stays al dente and absorbs some more of those flavors. Our pasta is ready, and I reserved a full cup of the pasta water. I'm going to start by adding half a cup to loosen up the sauce. Nice. I'm going to go ahead and add the pasta and coat it with the sauce. Amazing, and it smells phenomenal. You can smell the basil and this delicious roasted tomatoes. I ended up adding a full cup of pasta water, and I'm gonna let it sit a couple of minutes for everything to absorb before we plate it. Here it is, Penne Arrabbiata, an Italian classic, and I can't wait to dig into it. Amazing. I love the freshness of the tomato, that hint of spice, just pure simple ingredients, and it brings the dish together so remarkably. For me, this amount of sauce is perfect, but my dad, he loves a lot more sauce. So I increased the ingredients by 50%, which you can as well. Thank you to our Italian friends for creating this classic dish that I know you're gonna love. There's room for everyone at the table. Thank you for joining me, and please let me know what you think in the comments below. There's a reason Penne Arrabbiata has been a Oops, I'm a professional. I can hold it in. I don't have to go yet. Penne Arrabbiata, take 5. I'm gonna go deaf at the end of these shoots.